Egg. Hello, this is BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Sunday, and I'm feeling like playing a little bit of Terraria, since I have not done that in a little bit. So, how's everybody doing in the chat? I hope you're having a decent day. Happy after 4th of July. Yeah, I decided not to stream yesterday, just because I figured everybody was going to be busy, including me. So, yeah, I hope that went well. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the game tab. Oh yeah, I also fixed all the alternative music tracks that that I had listed on here. So now it's no longer just like the rain sound effect from frickin' Terraria. I am a lazy thing. Very lazy individual. 12 years to finally fix something in the stream. Okay, move over. Game tab. Blaska says, all I did yesterday was fear the fireworks. Valid. You are allowed to fear the fireworks. Oh, yeah, off stream, I caught a gold squirrel. So, take this. What is this? Drum set? Why do you... But, I don't need a drum set, but thank you. Whiteyear said I had tacos on 4th of July. Oh, you lucky bastard. Oh, so here's a fun little thing. In relation to tacos, I recently found out that there were a couple of recipes, specifically like the Mexican dishes that I was making. I had thought that I was mixing in a proper amount of sodium into those meals. And I'm trying to watch sodium just because in the past I ate way too much, way too many chips, like way too much carbs, too much. So I've tried to like severely cut back on that. And I discovered that apparently the math that I did on my diet is actually incorrect. And that I was kind of overloading myself with sodium. Whoops. Not as much as I had before I even went on the diet in the first place, but just like enough that it was concerning. Which sucks, but that does mean I do need to make some adjustments to my eating habits again. But this is fine. I have made great strides. Blastic says, remember to wash your hands. Oh, yes. Oh, and Dragon says, hello, doing good. All we had was random people shooting off fireworks, but good food. That is good. I kind of did a similar thing. Like, I don't know, I just got together with some close family, and we shot fireworks off, sat by bonfire, and just sort of chilled and relaxed, and enjoyed ourselves, enjoying the fact that we are all here, healthy, and, everybody is kind of self-isolating, which is good. I feel a little bit more trustworthy around those people. Besides that, we do still like try and keep a decent distance from each other. And I hope you guys were pretty safe with that. I hope you kept your own distance and you were safe with fireworks. Whiteyear says, why is the guide yelling at a tree in the screen overlay? When I originally made the overlay, I was trying to make it so that the guide was just, pointing to the tree. It's just, he's sort of like pointing out, it's like, yes, this is an oak tree. You can knock it down to get yourself wood. I was trying to just like, oh, he's a guide. And I really didn't know what the heck I was supposed to do. Like, it was, I didn't want to just put a tree there. So I'm like, I don't know, let's add the guide. All right, sure. And people who are watching the VOD, like, who don't even see the overlay. Oh, I have Baez here. Hello. Okay, so, ooh, voice crack. Ah! Sorry, I'm going through second puberty. Oh, God. Can you imagine? That would be horrible. Blesk said if you scream at a tree, then you're helping it grow. I think there was a Mythbusters episode about plants that was the same thing. And you can do that. And somehow it does work. Which is very confusing. Okay. So, yes, the plan today. We are going to make it to hell. I guarantee you and I promise you. We have gotten so close and I put it off until now. I want to go to hell. And we are doing just that. We have not run into too much weird stuff. Keep in mind, for people who are fresh and new at this, this is the weird corrupt seed, where just like ever so slightly, every little thing in the game is just a little bit off. It's like the terrain generation is very confusing. Like, for example, we have Crimson and we also have Corruption. Like the. Oh Jesus! Hi. Why, dear? I want to go to hell, Bitby. Second puberty. Yeah, no, the first one was hell enough. Plastics. Oh, I want to go to hell too. Anywho. So yeah, if we run into some like weird things every once in a while, yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. But the last time that I played, we really didn't run into anything too ridiculously weird. I don't remember. I do know that the like the fortress is just like very oddly placed directly in, you know, underneath some trees, and I'm very confused about that. But whatever, man. I'm just trying to roll with it at this point. If I ask too many questions, I'm going to be putting myself up for disappointment. I don't know. This new Terraria is scary. I don't get it. But we'll see. Now, in the meantime, while we're doing this trekking here, Blastic is asking what this game is again. Basically 2D Minecraft. Pretty much the same thing, except there's a few more RPG elements to it, and there's a lot more bosses and progression involved with it. With Minecraft, it took like frickin' forever for it to finally reach the level of RPG elements that Terraria did. And even then, Terraria has continued to surpass them, and even to this day, still surpasses them. And like I said before, the reason why I'm playing this now is because the Journey's End update came out, and they are no longer going to be updating Minecraft. No, not Minecraft. No, Minecraft's going to be updated forever. No, Terraria. Son of a bitch. Sorry, do not listen to the strange man with the microphone. Plastic says, oh boy, pixels! Whiteear says, I honestly prefer Terraria over Minecraft. There's something pretty chill about Terraria. It just feels like you have a little bit more agency. I don't even know what it is. It's like with Minecraft, it's like, all right, we're dropping you off in the middle of nowhere. All right, figure this shit out. And I don't really know if I like that all that much. Like, it's okay, but... And I do like sort of setting my own plan and my own, full steam ahead sort of plan. You know what I mean? I like the idea, but there is also some agency behind, ooh, hey, defeat this boss, and you unlock the new portion of the game. La 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 la, get out of here. Good thing I have some decent boots. Anywho, so yeah, not much happened in 4th of July for me personally. Again, it was just very chill. We fired off some fireworks. I believe I shared... Oh, yeah, I shared a picture of one of the fireworks. We just ended up getting some, like, Black Cat-esque fireworks, and we shot those off, which is easy enough. The funny thing, though, is that we were shooting off our own fireworks, but there was, there was a place not too far away that actually got the permits to be able to shoot off some very, very impressive, like, actual heavy-duty fireworks. And that was frustrating, because we're like, ooh, yay! Our fountain fireworks, so much fun. And then from behind you, you just hear, boom! And she's like, will you stop one-upping us? Assholes. Whiteear says, I wish Minecraft had better bosses, or in fact, the actual tough-ish bosses. Yeah, I would like to see that too. FBay said my dog didn't like the fireworks. Yours and a lot of people's. Oh, poor doggos. I think I mentioned it in the chat. When I got home, I found Cat Tommy sitting like directly at the front door waiting for me, and I'm pretty sure he was scared. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. Plastic wants a creeper boss. What the heck would that even be? I feel like that would be... I mean, clearly you're gonna have to blow it up. And also, its main point of attack is, not self-destruction. So what would it end up being? I would imagine it would be attempting to try and shoot a lot of, like, TNT-fueled rockets and stuff like that. Shoots creepers at you. Oh, yeah! Just sending a bunch of, like, suiciders at you, like... Pew! Whiteear said July 4th was my excuse to load up on sugar. Speaking of loading up on sugar, let's go ahead and talk about some of the sugary things that I've gotten a hold of. Now, you remember that I was talking about the whole jelly bean thing and whatnot. And I kind of swore to myself that it's like, okay, this is the sugary stuff that I will be eating. What the hell is that in the sky? That thing, what the heck is that? What the hell kind of cloud is that? It looks like a brain. Your white deer says brain in the sky. What the hell? And it's gone. Okay. Let's just keep moving. Maybe it was like a combination of a couple of different textures. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. A Wolo. Anyway, so yeah, I talked about the whole like fact that I have jelly beans and whatnot. But then I got some more surprises. I posted about this over in the Discord, but Ben just sent me a message recently, and he's just like, "Hey, dude, do you want like this in like almost entirety of a cake?" I'm like, "What? Excuse me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've been baking, and I'm gonna be baking for somebody's event that they're gonna be doing, and I've got this cake that I decided to do a trial run of. Now I'm currently trying to lose weight at the moment, so I don't want to have this thing in my house. Would you like it?" And it was a time of weakness. I will admit. I chose yes. And this thing, it is a freaking good cake. It is a banana cake with peanut butter and jelly icing on top. Like, holy freaking crap. Of course I'll take it. Like, what kind of crazy person wouldn't? Maybe, like, early on in my diet, I would have said no. Simply because I'm never going to be able to eat through the entirety of that. I apologize, dude. I cannot do the thing. However, in this circumstance, I'm just like, oh, hell yes. Dude, I've done my diet. I'm down to my goal weight. I'm happy. No, let me at it. Let me eat the cake. So that's some good news. I managed to get myself a cake. But that's not all I've gotten sugar-wise. Then I needed to go out to the store to get some essentials. And while I was at the store, I found out that they just got in, like, regular stock of Twix cookies and cream. And I'm sorry, that stuff is just delicious as all hell, so I decided to grab one. I haven't actually dug into it yet, simply because I've got way too much sugar around me. But rest assured, when I actually do have room in my diet, I will be grabbing it, and I will be eating it, and it will be fantastic. And that's not all that I got, however. I also got this box back here. Like, I knew I had jelly beans, but then I upped it, and I picked up a package of Mike and Ike's, which normally I wouldn't eat Mike and Ike's, but these are Mike and Ike root beer float flavored. And I was just like, that sounds way too weird to not give a shot, because I have never seen this before, and I want to try it. And I have not tried it, just because I've got so much other sugar that I need to get through. And, you know, that cake takes priority. It's going to expire, like, you know, before I know it. And so I'm telling all of this to my buddy. I'm just like, okay, so I've got several different types of sodas. I have jelly beans. I've got candy bars. I've got myself, oh yeah, Pocky. I got the Pocky that we got a little bit earlier. It's just like, let's throw on a cake. And the way that Ben put it was just like, you are living in, like, a diet landmine. like landmine or, like, minefield. And I'm like, yes, I am. Isn't it lovely? So, yes, I definitely do plenty of snacking every once in a while, but I would like to, you know, I would like to be the good guy that goes, hey, remember to take care of yourselves. Don't just do nothing but eat snacks, because then you're going to turn into a beluga whale. And that ain't good either. It's all about, you know, it's all about portion control. Yeah, FBay says cake expires too quickly. Especially fresh cake that was actually made, like, you know. If you get a cake that's already pre-made and all that jazz, and like, you have a chance of that stuff lasting a little bit longer, but... Oh god, I didn't see this message earlier, but Blastic said, "Can I eat that brain? I need more brain cells." That's not how that works. Blastic says, "Sweats at me eating whole box of ice cream." Whole box? Uh-oh. I've been guilty of that kind of thing myself. I'm not, I'm not holier than thou. I've gone and done my own stupid decisions diet-wise. Not as of late. I've actually been doing pretty good. But there were dark times. Especially days where I was particularly upset, or something specific was just frustrating. And I'm just like, oh, you know what I could go for? A crap ton of ice cream. Especially like Ben & Jerry's. I talked about it in the chat. Ben & Jerry's is kind of one of my favorite types of ice cream, simply because they have a lot of very interesting flavors. And for whatever reason, I really like the ones that are based on talk shows. I can't explain that one. But, thanks to the fact that Ben & Jerry's is, it's about, like, there's such a small size, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, it's just like, oh, it probably wouldn't be too bad. I don't have ice cream that often. I could get away with eating the whole pint. It's like... American Dream and cannoli are the best. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever had the cannoli flavor. Okay, no, you have sparked my interest. Give me a moment. Everybody said I like fish food. I have not tried fish food, but, here, hold on. Ben & Jerry's cannoli. I need to take a look at this. Funny enough, yeah, I have not tried cannoli. I'm going to keep this tab up, and I'm going to try and remember to look at it. Herf. I swear, like, to all that is holy, I am almost making, like, exclusively bad decisions about health. And you know what? I'm not going to say that. I literally started this thing out with saying I'm going to watch my sodium intake, and I'm going to watch that stuff. No, I think I'm doing good. It's all about, like, moderation and also monitoring what you're eating. One thing that was extremely bad for me a really long time ago when it came to my diet, long time ago, like, I wouldn't pay much attention to anything that I was eating, so if I had a cheat day, if I decided, yeah, you know what, it's probably not going to hurt me that much if I decide to have this very, very bad for me thing. Thing is, I wouldn't compensate that by being better. I would just keep in mind that I made a big mistake. And then later on, I would just be like, that ice cream bar looks pretty good. And then the next day, it's just like, oh, I would really like to go for that candy bar. It's just like, if you keep cheating, if you don't stop cheating, then technically you didn't have any good days. Like, stop it, sir. Take care of yourself. So I've actually started to keep track of that. And I'm very happy, because now I actually have the ability to make decisions about the foods that I eat and whatnot. Healthy, conscious living with BitB. I'm sorry. Is this boring? It's probably boring. I don't know. I'm just talking about random things that I'm thinking about. Which, to be fair, I mean, that's streaming in a nutshell. Black Griffin says, dried fruit is my current bane. Oh, Jesus. It could be worse. You could be eating something a lot worse for you. Like, for example, me sitting here with this gigantic 2-pound bag of jelly beans. It's almost like Jingle Bells. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus. Oh, well, I'm on the subject of that. I've been informed. Apparently, my mom is basically doing nothing but watching, like, nowadays she watches pretty much nothing but Food Network and Hallmark movie channel films. And keep in mind, like, the only films that they're even showing or releasing are Christmas related. But at this point, she's like, everything else on, on TV, whether it be the news or whether it be any kind of new shows or anything related to that, Yeah, I'll take Christmas over everything else. And I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. Plastic says Brain wants to try and play Puyo Puyo Tetris. Whoop. Okay. So this is interesting. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drain some more water into here. Because, yeah. I want to grab myself a bunch of obsidian. Conveniently double as a musical instrument. Yeah, come on, I need more water. Drain it in. Neat. Goody goody. Oh yeah, speaking of jelly beans, I got them sitting right here. Pick out a few. I'm selectively deciding to put a whole bunch of my personal favorite stuff, just like in the bottom of the bag, and I'm going to wait to have them until much later on down the line, just as a special treat to myself. I'm getting through all the really bad ones first, or you know, at least the ones that I'm not all that excited about. Blask says, "Hey, you want to hear a curse? Your bones are wet all the time." But anyway. But no, I kind of support my mom at this point. Just like, you know what? You do you. You enjoy yourself your Christmas specials. If it makes you happy, do it. Okay, if you're not hurting anybody, like, you are probably... You are, like, a fine example of a well-mannered and reasonable human being. And that seems to be very few and far between nowadays. So, you know what? You go ahead and you watch the newest, like, or, you know, the latest Hallmark movies about Samantha, the woman who thought she had it all, but turns out she needed an extra love in her life. Another curse. Your brain is piloting meat body armor. Yes. It's icky to think about, that's for sure. Alright. We've had a bit of a snag. Because... kind of run out of water. But I need to continue to keep emptying out the, you know, the lava and whatnot. I think this is enough that I could probably get away with just paling it out. Oh, God. Let me see. I believe this is mango. Ah, jelly beans. The root of my evil, and the root of all of my cavities. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's recently gone on. Nothing stupidly substantial. Again, I've just... okay, here's one thing. I did go for a routine checkup at my doctor's place, so that's kind of interesting. No, every once in a while, my doctor just really likes to, you know, like, tee up with me and ask me some questions. So, like, how you doing? You know, it's just like, are your medications good? How you doing health-wise? Is your, you know, are your muscles atrophying, you nerd? No. Although he does tend to screw with me sometimes, just being like... It's one of those doctors that tries so desperately to be funny, and unfortunately he kind of is. But anyways, no, I have not really gone out anywhere aside from, like, the grocery store in the past... Oh, I want to say... Yeah, about, like, 4 or 5 months, I believe. So this was kind of like the first time that I've actually sort of gone out into the light. And when I got to the doctor's office, that was an interesting experience because they've changed a heck of a lot about how their system works. Very early on, they were only allowing, like, one patient in at a time. Lower myself down here. So, like, if you come into your appointment, you actually need to call in that you have made it to your appointment via their parking lot. You know, you have to call the reception and being like, hey, I'm here. It's like, okay, well, just wait. We're going to get you as soon as we're ready for you. And, you know, as soon as they release the previous appointment and they do, like, some cleanup of the environment, They immediately bring you in, just being like, okay, here you go. They have since stopped doing that simply because, like, you know, the quarantine's kind of lifted at this point. However, they are still being very cautious about it. And one thing that I noticed is that, boy, the smell of bleach in that room was incredible. Oh, hello. Hello, fairy. Hi. Do you have a thing that you need to show me? I'm kind of busy at the moment. Can you, like, not? I wonder what would happen if I, Uh-oh. Surprisingly resilient, little bastard. I poured a bunch of lava on it and somehow didn't die. Okay. Gonna do anything for me, or? I have no idea. I guess it's probably just hanging out. Again, I'm busy, dude. I'm in the middle of boring a gigantic hole in the ground, and it's about as boring as you imagine it is. Anyway. You know, funny enough, I used to be a stickler when it comes to, you know, why don't you keep Christmas after Thanksgiving? Holy crap. Dirt. And I think I'm still going to be a stickler for that. But in this case, with this year, you know what? If you want to celebrate whatever... You celebrate whatever holiday you want. Yeah, it's like, I am not going to step in your way. Do it. If it's going to make you happy, if you want to celebrate Christmas in July, do it. I will not judge. I'll probably judge you, like, next year. But not right now. I think at this moment, we need a little Christmas. Right this very minute. Candles in the window. I forget the rest of the lyrics. Oh, there he goes. Griffin says, my bank still highly recommends masks, so I walk in wearing my red bandana mask and wide-brimmed hat, and the first thing I say is, okay, this isn't what it looks like. Oh god, I hope they have a sense of humor. Because that's amazing, but that actually does remind me. I did go out on the town with my mom recently, and my mom was wearing, like, this big ol', like, black face mask, and also she was wearing, like, sunglasses because, you know, it was, like, really bright that day. And I looked at her, I'm just like, you look like you are fitting to rob someone. Holy crap. It's just like, oh, will you shut up? You really think they're gonna find me, like, you know, me of all people threatening? I'm like, yeah, okay, you got a point. Ooh, hey, gold chest. Unless it's a trap. Are you a trap? They laughed at it. Thanks for the clarification. Blastic says, speaking of July... You hate how your birthday is in it. That's interesting. First of all, happy early birthday. Second off, why do you hate that your birthday is in July? I'm kind of curious about this. I can understand, like, being upset that your birthday was closer to Christmas because, oh god, people are gonna lump our, you know, my gifts together into one thing. Why is it, like, why does it suck that, your birthday is in July? While we're talking about events and whatnot happen in July, though, that art fight thing. How have people been doing with the art fight thing? I'm not going to contribute just because I don't have the time or the attention span to be able to, you know, put in the effort to do art fight. But I salute you if you decide to do it. And for those people who do not know, art fight is basically you sign up to make art in retaliation for somebody else who is making art of you, that kind of thing. Very positive. In sort of a war level thing. Hot month, says Plastic. Fair enough. Look at all the stuff. Thank you. That's true. I guess I I wouldn't really know. Like, I have not ever, you know, funny enough, I've never celebrated my birthday in a hot month. I wonder why. Maybe it's because it's the exact same time of year every single time. Blaska says, also you can join it and just get attacked, but... I mean, I feel like I would want to compensate in some capacity, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'd feel a little bit guilty. Being like, I got art, but I can't give anything back. And also, how you doing, Trashy? Hope you're having a decent day. Dang. Again, we're talking about random stuff related to July and 4th of. I hope you had a decent 4th of July. Don't know where you live. But if you live in the States, I hope you had a decent 4th of July. Okay, just because I'm a stickler and I want to make this uniform, I'm going to break all these walls. I gotta say, this ham axe, at this point in the game, like, this is one of the most useful freaking things on the planet. It frees up a slot in your inventory, and it's a pretty fast hammer. Okay, we nearly at hell. We have crossed this threshold, which this threshold is pretty much right there. Blask said, I'd be more happy if my birthday was on the 1st of July, because if that was the case, it'd be before the art fight. Oh, it would be before the art fight starts. Still salty that it is hot all the time. I'm very thankful that I do have access to AC and whatnot. I remember quite a considerable long time ago. I mean, I've always had access to AC within, you know, my housing and whatnot. But whenever I would stream a really long time ago, it was in a room that actually had the AC unit in it. And the negative with that is that when you have a mic as sensitive as this one, it means that you can very easily pick that up. And so for the longest time, I couldn't stream while I also had that AC unit on. But thankfully, I have moved my streaming rig out to a different room, and on top of that, condensers for microphones have gotten beastly. Like, you can actually find some pretty neat noise suppressors in microphones nowadays, and just in software in general. And yes, if I didn't have that on, you definitely would hear just a very light hum. But you don't. You can't. I have superseded. Oh my god, are we there yet? I need another jelly bean. Which one do I grab? Let's grab one of the random green ones that I don't really know what the heck it is. It's got the taste of medicine, actually. Like, the artificial sort of fruit taste that you find in medicine. By the way, you see that that bottom layer lie there? Oh dear. It looks like we there, boys. We made it. We in hell. Now, if I remember correctly, I think there's some things in hell that are also kind of screwy with this the seed. So let's just slowly creep our way in and let's see the damage. Come on, we're nearly there. This is nice because this is the first map I've made it to hell, like actually on the edge of the world. So it's gonna be weird to like, this is going to be the entrance. I'm usually used to having the hell portal somewhere, or, you know, the hell hole somewhere within the center of the map, never, like, on the side. Ooh. And here we are. Music has changed. Good Lord, help us all. Okay, smoky. So, be safe. You know, I'm curious. Yeah, that's where hell is. At some point, I'm going to want to make some sort of a battle path. I wonder what elevation I should try to do that on. So, for those of you who have not played Terraria, and who don't know, being in hell at this point in the game really doesn't make any sense for my level of power. I really shouldn't be here. This is like one of the worst things I could possibly be doing. And yet here I am. Why? Because the good old rewards you can get if you can pull it off properly. Like, you see all this shit that's currently flying around my head? All of those things could potentially completely obliterate me. Like, maybe if I'm lucky, and maybe if I can put up a decent fight, I might be able to do a decent number on them. Maybe I might be able to kill 3 of them. Plastic says, man, I didn't know we were going to Tumblr in this session. Jesus. Burn on Tumblr. Though not an substantiated burn on Tumblr. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, I think at some point here I want to start heading to the right. But I gotta make that decision. And honestly, I kind of want to make that decision, like, right now. Because I can make the idea, or, I could make the plan later, I suppose. I'm also thinking about making the elevator off-stream, because I know that that can be a very tedious process, and I'm sure you guys probably wouldn't be interested in just watching me fiddle around in hell and dying constantly. So, I don't know. Okay. I think I'm going to try and bridge the gap right here. Demons.
Give us your soul.
Me, on the other hand. Oh, look. Pots. Okay, is this even? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Actually, let me pull up the map real quick. A little bit of a cheat. There's the layer, and... yeah, we got a couple of layers off. Right about here, I think? Yep. And if we go deeper, we could reach Twitter in this session, too. Oh my god. I want to argue with you, just being like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, and then I have to stop myself, because I'm like, no, it really is. The worst thing about Twitter is that, like, with Tumblr, that's a very specialized, like, group of people that is currently joining Tumblr. It's people a part of, like, fandoms, and people that, like artists, people that want to talk about just, what they are excited about, just art-related and stuff like that, or... anything that's artsy or experimental. Twitter is just kind of anybody that happens to find themselves there. And that means you open yourself up to pretty much anything. And that makes me sad sometimes. Now, I remember a really long time ago, on my personal Twitter account, I used to be subscribed to a lot of people. And here's a little bit of advice. Especially in these times, it can get really frustrating to see so much news and like just so many people talking about the latest horrible thing that's happened, either in Hollywood or I don't know, just in general, anything that's happening in the world. And it can really knock you down a peg. Like, every day you might wake up and you just find a new thing that just makes you upset and makes you furious. And you might think just like, oh god, the world sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. The best thing that I found when it comes to stuff like that, try to just stop following people that continue to perpetuate that. Like, if people are making stuff like that appear on your feed on, like, a constant basis, it's best to just let people like that go. Either that or, like, or you know, just mute it so that you're not getting their notifications. Like, if it starts to cut into just, you know, your own mental health, it's not worth it. And it never will be, frankly. So that's why I tend to follow people that are fairly positive. Or, like, things that are so non-threatening and, like, there's no reason for them to be a part of any kind of controversy whatsoever. I know that's, you know, that's failed on several occasions. But at the very least, like, you line yourself up to having a better shot at not being frustrated or upset. What did you have to... Excuse me? Alright. Okay, you could just do that? Fine. I was kind of resigned. I was planning on just fighting that guy, but then he was like, no! I'm gonna nudge my way out of here. Oh, God. Oh, shit. You can go through that. Okay. Alright. Alright. Leave me be. Anyways, so we're here. So these are some pretty valuable pots and pans if we can get our hands on them. Though I'd like to point out, normally buildings don't spawn at this part of hell. Usually this entire area out here is completely empty. So that should raise a few eyebrows to a few people. Especially, like, you know, the veterans of this game. Oh, God. Okay. And my main goal here is to just grab as much stuff as possible from pots. Oh, and also, I forget, do I have the proper pickaxe for this? I think I do. Yes. There's another thing I want to try and do. This is one of the cheapest ways I have found to do this. Inside the lava here is hellstone. And, oh. Hello, lava friend. Can you not? Come on down. Fight me man to man. Stop being a wuss. I will come to you. Plastic says, Twitter seems to have a ton of drama on it every day. Meanwhile, on Tumblr, you can barely see it. But I have no idea. Honestly, could not tell you. I'm not going to judge simply because I'm not a part of Tumblr and I could not say anything about it. I know Tumblr has had a particular, you know, like, I joke, but I couldn't really make any kind of actual comments on it since I don't have an account. I have no intention to. It just does not seem to be my crowd. I don't know. Like, the running gag is that Tumblr's got a heck of a lot of toxicity in it. And I think that just stems from a lot of people who are extremely passionate about whatever it is that they're talking about. And, yeah, understandable, okay, but I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that in the circumstances, I can get it. I will say, I am really frustrated about the fact that every single person on the face of the planet nowadays seems to need a cancel party now. Like, it's always a new hashtag about, like, oh, so-and-so is over party, doop-de-doop-a-doo. And I'm sitting there like, okay, first of all, who the heck are you talking about? Who is over? Because I have never heard of this person in my life. And second of all, what was the offense that apparently they did something so bad that it's time to cancel them forever? Like, what's the context behind it? Like, do you know this person personally? The fact that there are so many people that are jumping down this person's throat tells me that you probably don't. It's like, interesting. It's almost like you don't have enough knowledge or information about the subject to be able to accurately comment on it. And yet, for some reason, are showing some sort of authority on this particular subject. Like somehow you do know it. And you're throwing off other people and thinking that somehow you do have authority. I'm sorry, am I spilling tea here? Oh, God, I'm just saying, man. Some things, it's just not your business. You know, like, There are people that have done bad things in the past. Like, I will absolutely accept that. I do believe that. And I do believe there should be some, like, you know, there should be some penalties. But for God's sakes, like, you can't come into this acting like somehow you were there and you were, like, 100% actually directly affected by it. Some people will be. It's just, but it's a subject that you particularly unhappy with. Dragon Rose says, when it comes to Twitter and Tumblr, I'm just there for comedy and art. Same. Like, the people that I follow, I'm just there to take a look at the, you know, the art stuff. And just, you know, following people that are particularly funny. Yeah, Blask says, I don't like cancel culture. I don't know any sane person on the planet who does like it, honestly. Like, here's my... I don't know why. For some reason, Tumblr, like... No, wait, not Tumblr. Terraria, sorry. I don't know what it is about the Terraria streams where we just, like, get onto, like, serious topics and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that, you know, this is kind of one of those, you know, no thought, brain empty kind of games. But anyway... no, the thing about, like, cancel culture for me is that whenever somebody pulls up cancel culture type of topics, these are topics that really should be taken absolutely 100% seriously. Like, these are topics that have wide, varying problems behind every single one of them. And these are problems that are really fundamental and, honestly, kind of like groundwork in our own psychology. Like, these are problems that can't really be explained away with one singular thing. Like, you can't just say, oh, yeah, it's because so-and-so. And yet, a lot of cancel culture is just, like, oh, so-and-so did bad thing, they bad, therefore, destroy their career forever, okay, thanks, bye. Like, no, there's probably a lot more nuance to it, and it's kind of disgusting to decide to just throw the nuance out the window. Hi, Pink. Welcome to this horrible discussion. It's one thing for somebody to be to be pointed out that did genuinely do something so heinous, and even then, it's kind of unfortunate that these call-outs are happening in an atmosphere like of a destructive kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish this could have ended in a more positive and, you know, like, progressive way, if you know what I mean. Like, it had to end, but not like this. If somebody made a mistake once and apologized for it, then they should be okay. You know, I kind of want to, like, even more than that, there are some people that just, they don't comprehend that they're making some kind of a horrible mistake. And unfortunately, in the moment, even if somebody directly tries to talk to them, there's a very good chance that they probably still won't understand that they're making some sort of a horrible mistake. And it's only with time and with learning and with it's with age and just with experience, it's with that kind of thing that people can finally start to open their eyes and go, oh yeah, what I did before was not a very good thing. So I would say, like, even if somebody has made more than one mistake, there's always a chance that somebody could, you know, like, fix their situation, and they could end up being, like, a pretty major, I don't know, they could become a really big face for good in some capacity. I'm not saying that it's likely, that, you know, the chances are slim with some people, but at the same time, to pretty much look at somebody and go, nope, you're a lost cause. Go away. You are done. Dead to rights. Like, that's not okay. I've known a couple of cases. Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about this not too long ago. And, like, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just talk about this. And I honestly thought this might be a decent idea. I have, like, the Abitabyte series, and for the longest time I've made that about video games and whatnot. But I've always opened it up to the idea that one day I might go ahead and cover, like, some other topics too, especially if they're related to, you know, tech and whatnot. Cough, Spectre Drama, cough. Hello! But anyway, but I had kind of an idea. I have a particular philosophy when it comes to anything related to, like, whether it be cancel culture or whether it be somebody making some kind of a report about this awful thing that so-and-so has done, or something that just, like, in general has happened. And the best that I can describe my process of it, funny enough, I kind of call it the stop, collaborate, and listen method. And that might sound familiar to some people. And yes, it is absolutely a quote from Vanilla Ice. Shut up, don't at me. Whatever. It makes it a little bit easier to remember, personally. Now, but what is it exactly? I mean, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Stop, collaborate, and listen. The idea is, as soon as you see something, like a news report, or you see the news that somebody has done some horrible thing, or if you feel like that drop in the bottom of your stomach, you know that one? FBay at me. Anyway, you know that drop in your stomach where you're just like, oh god, when you're really worried about something, or there's a particular subject that you take very seriously, that somebody is, that somebody is talking about, oh, something really serious just happened. In situations like that, now, I'm not saying that I'm immune to this kind of thing. I will say I am kind of reactionary, but what you need to do in a situation like that is stop. Oh, Pink says, what do I think of your voice? I think you have a voice. And for those people that don't know, Pink sent me some clips and whatnot. Kind of quiet. I'm not going to be too judgmental. I don't 100% know, like, where you are currently with live streaming and whatnot. I'm not an expert on this, so, you know, don't ask me for advice, holy crap. But I will say, I think, like, it just, with time, you're going to be a heck of a lot more adept to being able to, just interact with people. You're going to be a little bit more flexible. You're going to be able to play games, like, effectively while communicating, as well as also, I mean, having more people to bounce stuff off of tends to help out a little bit more. So when with a growing audience, you'll have an easier time with bouncing stuff back and forth between people. You can make it a more fun experience. That's kind of my philosophy on that one. It sounds like you got a pretty decent mic, and it sounds like you got a pretty decent setup. So I'd recommend just keep on keeping on. Keep doing your thing. Blask says, I take a look at both sides because I believe everybody can be a good person if they tried. Ah, yes. That is a portion of the whole stop, collaborate, and listen thing. And, okay, this can work for anything, whether it's, like, having a conversation with somebody or doing research on a particular horrible thing that supposedly happened. Again, the first thing that you need to do is stop. And the stop part of the method is take a moment to think. That's a huge part of what stop means, is just, this is the thinking period. It can be really easy to be reactionary and be like, oh god, yeah, this is awful. No, spread the word. This is complete shit. However, this is a very easy way for miscommunication to happen. And very easily, misinformation can also spread if you decide to just go ahead and lean into stuff like that. As well as, you can also very easily end up creating false information if you decide to attribute, like, I don't know, a certain thing with your own personal experiences to a horrible tragedy or something that you really have a passion for, or something that you're really passionately upset about. That can very easily happen. So the best thing you can do is just stop, take a breath, and think about it. Take a moment to just be like, okay, logistically, does this sound like it's a realistic and real thing that could potentially happen? If it does sound like a real and, possible thing that could happen, do your own personal research. And I know there's a lot of people that they're going to be like, oh, no, whatever, I don't have the time for that. You know what? If a subject is serious enough to you, you should take the time to do a little bit of research, okay? Like, I'm just saying, it's a little bit two-faced to be like, no, I am super serious about this subject, and this is wrong. It's like, okay, well, what do you know about this subject? Well, I didn't really look into it, but yeah, trust me, it's wrong. Like, no. Do your research, look into it, look from reasonable sources, and also, not just one source. Look from multiple sources. And try to, like, make it as varied as you possibly can. I know it's easy to have a bias when it comes to one particular place. A lot of people like to one-stop shop for their info. Sometimes that's not the best way to go. Try and get information from as many places as you can before you decide to make some kind of an educated decision about it. However, once you have finally made some kind of an educated decision about situations like this, the next best thing that you can do is instead of attempting to try and, like, you know, push people down or, you know, do something destructive or just attempting to try and vilify and turn this into an example thing, being like, oh, so-and-so is bad, let's laugh, you know, let's all laugh and point at the person who's bad. Instead, try and, like, take this as an example for yourself. Don't necessarily tell anybody how to live their life. Give information, sure, but have people reach their own personal decision about stuff. Because it's real easy to say, oh, so-and-so was bad, go destroy. No, you don't want to start some kind of hive mind. The one thing that you really should try and do is practice communication. Try and practice the fact that people, like, you want to actually talk with people and talk about, like, okay, well, why is this bad? Why is this something that upsets me? And with this, it creates better communication between people, which means that people, a part of, you know, different subgenres and different groups, will feel a lot more comfortable talking with each other because we're talking about our feelings back and forth. Now, I'm not saying that this is a 100% perfect thing, and I will also say that there are some people that will not listen to reason, okay? And there are people that will not be nice and kind to you. I know people have talked to me about this in the past, about how they just do not feel comfortable with trying to do something like that. You know, the best thing you can try and do in this situation is just put your most positive and best foot forward. You know, don't go at this from an aspect of, oh, so-and-so is evil. No, so-and-so is different. Go at it from a learning experience. Hopefully, if you do it successfully, and if you are good with talking with somebody and making it very clear that you're not there to judge, you're just there to talk and just ask questions, it can help substantially. It's very difficult to even say just warn. I think if you are going to warn anybody, definitely come at them with, like, the most facts as you possibly can. Here's a good example. Recently, all right, wait, this is another very serious subject. In fact, we've been talking a lot of serious subjects as of late in the stream. Probably going to keep talking about serious subjects. Specifically, again, trigger warning, this is, in relation to suicide. So if you do not want to hear about something like that, maybe, like, do a little bit of skipping around in the VOD. I don't even know. Or if you don't want to hear about this, then I'm sorry. Maybe leave the stream. I don't even know. But anyway, no, you guys brought attention to the whole blue whale challenge thing not too long ago, just yesterday. That is a very good example of a time where that kind of spooked me, and I'm just like, oh god, if this thing is real, then this is really terrifying. But at the same time, I was like, but this also sounds extremely outlandish. So I kind of want to look into this and see whether or not this is, like, truthful. You know, like, there was something that was rubbing me the wrong way about it. So I decided to go and look into it. I looked up several news stories about this. And the fact that this was something that happened about 4 years ago, 2016. Again, and if you don't know what the blue whale challenge even was, supposedly, it was stories about this challenge that was going around that was telling young kids and teenagers to perform these pretty sick and sadistic challenges that ramped up in intensity until eventually the final challenge is to yeah, okay, I've already said the S word in the YouTube VOD, but commit not living, that kind of thing. And so I decided to look into it and tried to look up some reports. There is very little when it comes to reports when it comes to this thing. Like, really, it's almost kind of sad how empty it is. And the only reports that are really there are reporting about, like, individual cases of situations where people think somebody might have been a victim of this challenge. And that's it. There's no actual confirmed cases about whether or not somebody actually did follow this challenge. And it varies in so many different ways. And, like, it's very different depending on who it is that is currently a part of the story. That's a big call out to me that there's actually a little bit more to this. And sure enough, I actually did find that somebody was thinking the exact same thing. There was a BBC article where they actually went and did a little bit of research on the subject of, like, the Blue Whale Challenge. And they discovered that pretty much the exact same thing. It was just like, yeah, none of these stories are really confirming that this is how these people passed. Like, it's all hearsay. Nobody's actually confirmed. Like, nobody's checked their phone records and saw they were doing this whole challenge thing. It's like, no. And then on top of that, then they looked a little bit deeper into it, and they found out that any of the legit groups that were supposedly a part of the Blue Whale Challenge, a lot of them were comprised of, like, 12 to 14-year-olds. And these were people that they were just sort of lampooning off of it and parroting the whole thing. And they weren't actually telling people to do the challenges. They were just setting it up and making it look like they were going to start the challenges. And they never did. Like, it was a case of copycatting, like, her. You know, the way that 12 to 14-year-olds kind of work. They're just like, oh, hey, let's copy this because it'll be funny. And that's about the gist of what the challenge ended up being. So after all of that being said, I personally, like, I made the point that I have absolutely no idea whether or not the latest reports of this challenge are legit or not. But, in my opinion, with the current setup and the way, just the way that the previous challenge actually worked out, I have my doubts about it, and I feel like this is just kind of an advanced creepypasta. And I think if somebody actually did go through with any kind of horrible self-harm involved with this kind of a challenge, even if that were the case, I feel like the challenge in and of itself wouldn't have even caused that much. Like, I feel like it's not like some mind trick kind of thing where it can pull in anybody. It could be you, or you, or you. It's like, no, very likely, if somebody actually did end up having any kind of physical harm come to them from this challenge, it was probably due to some already set in mental issues involved with the individual itself. Whatever was going on, they were probably already having a lot of other problems in their life involved with, maybe they just had neglectful parents. Maybe they had some kind of a childhood bully. Maybe they were just having some kind of horrible online harassment in general. There's a lot of factors, and like, everybody's story is different, and there are millions of different potential things that people could be dealing with every day. Like, you don't know. And it's real easy to just look at something like this challenge and go, oh yeah, little Jimmy died of that. No, like, it's a scapegoat. It's a one answer solution, and usually one answer solutions are not going to be the solution. Like, the best solutions you can come up with are, like, at the very least, again, communication is a huge part of it. Taking on a whole lot of the minor little issues, like head on. Like that's a big part of how you could possibly fix these kinds of issues. But rest assured, something like the Blue Whale Challenge is not something that I feel, you know, like, I'm not going to give it any more attention than I really feel like I want to. And in fact, that's the big reason why I decided to make that announcement about it over in the BitB chat. Because, you know what? People might take this seriously. And personally, I would like to take the wind out of those sails and remind everybody that, man, nothing about this is confirmed. Like, by all means, you know, be cautious. Don't ever join any kind of groups like this. But at the same time, do not look at this challenge like some sort of a boogeyman. Look at it like another group of idiots who are attempting to do something stupid. Blask said, it reminds me of that girl who sent messages to people. Some creepy girl. Don't remember the name. I have no idea what you're talking about, but, like, that sounds... I mean, that definitely sounds like something creepy. But anyway, that entire situation... oh, Jesus, the Momo story. Good lord. And then it turned out that the puppet was just some sort of a weird bird. That was great. Anyway, but that right there is a pretty good example of my whole stop, collaborate, and listen kind of thing. Again, I stopped, and I did my research, and I had my thoughts, and I thought, like, okay, why does this viscerally make me upset? Is there any credibility to this particular issue? And the thing is, we currently live in the generation of Google and, like, instant information. So take that opportunity, like, you know, pull out that cell phone that you probably own and go do some research, or whatever internet-enabled device you have. Because taking just a very quick moment to do some very easy research could actually give you some very insightful information about something that a lot of people might be flipping their shit out about. It definitely helped for me, and I'm sure it would help for you. And on top of that, if you're going to have any kind of a contentious conversation with anybody, or if you're going to try and confront something like that, try and confront it from a position of respect. You know, like, not necessarily, you know, like... You know, it's like, don't be mocking. I fully acknowledge that something like this could very easily be fallen for. Somebody could very easily lean into this and be like, oh god, no, it's real, it's happening, Jesus Christ. And I do not blame anybody who would. But just have a conversation with somebody and just, you know... And that's kind of one of the things I've tried to do is just... If anyone's ever having a contentious problem with me personally, I try to just ask people questions. You know, just being like, okay, so why does that piss you off? Like, why does that make you upset? And 9 times out of 10, I've actually managed to get somebody to, like, significantly calm down. And they're just like, yeah, you know what? I think everything's gonna work out. Now, I'm not saying that, like, the world is not some happy fairy tale, and it's not like, you know, talking and listening is going to be effective 100% all of the time. Plastic says, we live in a society! Dab. However, if it's within reason, and if you feel like it's something that you could have a reasonable discussion about, and if you trust that you can be respectful to whoever it is that you're having a conversation with, like, by all means, open up dialogue. Like, don't shut down. Don't like, close down the borders and say, no, like, everybody who is against me is wrong, and this is terrible. Because I've seen that a heck of a lot, too. Like, there are a lot of groups that they're just like, oh, so-and-so group is bad because they believe this. It's just like, okay, well, you just made a broad generalization about this one particular person. Like, you don't know how they live, you don't know where they are, and you don't know what they're dealing with. Like, how about you take a moment to just learn who that person is, and, you know, who knows, you might become friends. Oh, that's one thing that I'm praying. Kippy says, whoa, this is an extremely red spooky stream. Yes, we're currently in hell. And I figured we might as well go ahead and have conversations about the most hellish thing on the face of the planet. Online, online confrontation. So I've been living for a lot longer than I thought I would. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of thought that I was going to horribly disfigure myself somehow. Ah, Iona Zoe is here. Hello, Terraria is great. I agree. It's just a shame that there will be no more updates after the Journey's End update. I want to honestly see Terraria 2. Like, no joke, Terraria 2 would be hilarious and amazing. And there's one thing that they have not done with Terraria that I kind of want to see if it's even possible. Procedurally generated worlds. They have not done that. I mean, they technically have done that. Oh no, that's not the term. They have done procedurally generated worlds, but what I want to see is infinitely pre-generated worlds. Like, I want to be able to go to the ocean biome and then surpass it. Like, I want to end up on an entire other island. Iona says, to be honest, the developers have been working on this for 9 years. It's about time for them to move on. That's true. I do wonder what Relogic would even do at this point. I don't know. This is kind of their baby. Like, this is the big cheese. The one thing they've been working on for a long time. Like, what do you do after this? Ebbe said, less serious. Randomly makes you think of when there was a thing in elementary school where all of the girls were scared that a boy in the air vents watching them in the bathroom. Oh my god. Based on what? Again, I am skeptical. Got brave and look. It was a fan. Yeah, for God's sakes, man. You would be surprised at the kind of ridiculous things that human beings will try and, like... Just anything to try and make an excuse out of whatever it is somebody heard or saw. Heck, it's so easy nowadays for somebody to, like, start up some kind of an internet rumor and have it turn into some, like, you know, crazy holy piss thing. Like, man, the internet has got so many different places that you can go and, like, debunk stuff. Like, go to Snopes.com. Snopes is good. Snopes has got so much information. And they do due diligence. All good things come to an end, which is how things should go. Yeah, all good things should come to an end. Unfortunately, sometimes they don't. And then you get infinite sequels. Kippy says, well, Snopes can be good. They've been bald-faced liars here and there, depending on who wrote the articles. I guess that is true, yeah. I'll say, Snopes is at least, like, a stepping stone. You know, like, it's a good place that you can go to in the event you want to try and get to the bottom of something that is, you know, long within the rumor mill. I will say it's a little less helpful when it comes to stuff that has just recently started to become rumored. But, you know, as time moves on, like, you know, stories, they end up being abridged and fixed, and, you know, there's some things that get redacted here and there. Yeah, double, triple check sources. Again, we live in the internet age. We have tons of tools to be able to do our own research and figure this stuff out ourselves. Like, let's do that. Like, let's take that power back. Like, and a big part of a lot of the problems that we've faced as of late, they're all information-based. Like, have you noticed that? And a big solution to that is, hey, the information is clearly out there. Let's use it. Like, one little thing at a time. Let's work up, like, tiny little pebbles, and we'll work on the gigantic boulders as we get to them. Let me tell you something. A long time ago in my streaming career, I would be entirely, completely terrified to try and talk about that subject. Of course, nowadays, I'm pretty confident that whatever I'm going to say is probably not going to be, like, misconstrued. I'd like to think not. By all means, if any of you have any kind of questions about anything that I've said in the past or anything to that, like, any of that way, like, I'm all about communication, so please go and come and talk to me. Like, don't get information about me from some random depot somewhere, just being like, oh, so-and-so is horrible person. You know, it's just like, I won't lie to you. I am way too, like, I'm a way too goody-goody two-shoes for that one. Like, I'm kind of too good for my own freaking good. I don't want to fluff my ego or anything, but, like, the hospitality on my end is a little bit nuts. To a point where I'm kind of shortchanging myself sometimes. Ebbe said, if anyone was curious, the rumor died when someone checked and found the air vent didn't even connect the boys' room and the girls' room. Oh my god. Smart people. What the heck are you going on about, Kippy? I did not hear about this. And just the fact that it's such a very strange conversation, I'm not going to verbally bring it up on the stream. All I'm going to say is, lol what? Plastic says, oh my god, I can't believe you would say that. I am unsubscribing. Unsubscribble! Bit is over, party. No, I honestly did not hear about that, and that sounds really stupid. Like, what logistics came to that conclusion? And also, who tried it first? Again, for the people that are currently watching the VOD, you're all very confused and have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, oh yeah, right. Back to what I was talking about, though. So there have been days where I have considered, like, I kind of want... I almost want to make some kind of a video about this subject, because I feel like not many people go into talking about just the easy way that you can debunk so many of these, like, you know, these horrible rumor mill things, and I don't know if what I have to say would actively help too many people out, but if I could even, like, lend even, like, a tiny amount of just sensibility and, you know, it's like stopping and thinking and making intelligent choices about, you know, how to treat other people. I don't know. I feel like it would be worth it in some capacity. At the same time, though, it is a pretty serious subject and one that I have not really covered much on any of my, like, at any of my channels. So I don't know. Misinformation about a scientific paper. All right, well, now I just want to know what that scientific paper said. Because there had to have been something very interestingly wrong about it. Iona says, is this how it normally is in here? I mean, normally I'm not talking about too much sensitive subjects, but, I mean, usually it's just me derping around and playing whatever game is currently here. And then we just talk about some stuff. Personally, I think it's kind of chill. I don't know. Your definition of chill may vary. It's not clickbait. Bit exposed for having a snatch... Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Holy... Oh, Iona says... No, I was talking about the chat. Y'all are strange. Good. Oh, holy crap. I've got so much crap in my inventory. What the hell? Okay, wow. Give me a moment. I gotta drop some of this stuff off. Let's see. Shift click, shift click. Let's get a whole bunch of these potions in here. Got a bunch of gravitational potions. Sweet. I just need to make some room, so screw it. That'll do. Plastic says, listen, I'm on a sugar rush and cannot be stopped. Speaking of sugar rush, I'm going to go and grab another jelly bean. Okay, our Kippy has some more information. Okay. Once again, I will not verbally say anything about that. Oh, it was nice having you jump into the chat, Iona. I appreciate it. Iona scrambles out the door. I like the idea that it's just like, you're absolutely, completely terrified about some of the subjects in the chat. And like, the reflex is just to be like, oh god, must get out, must get out. You are all weirdos. All you know is that you learned more about the human body from the whole fiasco. You know what? That's good. That's a good way to look at it. A very positive outlook. More jelly bean. I have been slacking off on eating these. Oh, I don't even know what the heck that is. It's okay. It's oddly tart, though. Plastic says, do I need to stop? I'm sorry. Oh, no, shush. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. I noticed there's a lot of freaking rail up here. Oh, Jesus. All right. So, for those people who have not played Terraria, see what this guy's carrying with him? He's got a voodoo doll. It's a voodoo doll of the guide. If that voodoo doll hits the, you know, if he drops the voodoo doll and it lands in lava, that summons the final boss. Plastic, please don't do that. There are a few things in the, you know, a few things in my life, in my, I don't know, in my streaming career, that I would honestly, genuinely tell you, oh god, do not do that. And a lot of times I'm joking. I'll be fully honest with you. Most of the time, I'm joking. This is not one of those times. Jesus Christ, don't do the thing. Please do not do the thing. Chaos. Chaos? No, that's not a good filter for it. I should make a Jevil filter. Power of the voodoo, voodoo! You do, voodoo, you remind me of the babe! Like, there are many fan arts that I will absolutely be happy to see. That's kind of not one of them. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with having, fursuit. It's just, I don't align that way, and I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable. Okay, I've collected so much Healthstone that at this point, it's kind of redundant for me to continue to collect it, but I'm doing it anyway. Maybe Bit would have a Snuppet. Oh, like a Snatcher Muppet? Honestly, I would love that. I don't really... How the heck would you make that happen, though? Because it's not like a Muppet mouth. You know what I mean? Like, the Snatcher face is kind of an amorphous blob. How do you turn that into a puppet? Yeah, hello, here, wait a minute, give me a second. Currently dying of things in here. Hold up. Boop. Jess, you meant, oh, sorry, it is kind of difficult to read your, like, I'm trying so hard to learn everybody's names and whatnot. Jesu Montevares? Jesu Montevares. Am I close? Can I call you Jess? Because my heart's going to explode. People have drawn the Snuppet. Oh, Jesus, really? Scared? Here. My goal is to get on the rail. There we go. You're Dominican in the Caribbean. Ooh. Or at least that's what I think Caribbean means. I could be entirely wrong. Stupid American. Someone has sewn a Snuppet. Again, I want. There are a few things in this world that I desperately want, and that's one of them. There's an AU where the prince is the actor for the Snuppet. Okay, now I'm just imagining that, you know, it's just like, boy, I just flew in, and boy, am my arms tired. Waka, waka, waka. Please laugh. You link the Tumblr of the person who sewed the Snuppet. Okay, I need to see this. Give me a moment. Ba-doop. Here. Where is it? Where are you? Are you in, the image share file? Ooh. Oh, geez. Oh, dear God. Yeah, the mouth kind of looks like Dr. Habit, actually. Just a little bit. Like, the mouth mechanic looks like Dr. Habit-esque. Oh, boy. I have been in hell for the entirety of this. What the? I just have potato chips. Not healthy, but okay. Pink was playing SFM yesterday. You play SFM? Most people run SFM. Sorry, I'm being pedantic. Go on. Alright, I think I'm gonna head back up, just because, boy, I am sick and tired of being in hell, and I want a break. But boy, oh boy, we did it! We got ourselves a hella portal thingy kind of thingy. Tons of buildings. Oh yeah, you were live stream. Oh no, wait, SFM. Oh shoot, no. You know what? Okay, you know what's really screwing with me? People that use the abbreviation SFM for Smile for Me. I'm not used to that because I'm so used to seeing TF2 shit posts on YouTube that make it their videos through Source Filmmaker. And so whenever I see the abbreviation SFM, that's the first thing that goes to my mind. So I'm just like, well, in my head, I'm like, that doesn't make much sense because I've never heard you talking about that program. But benefit of the doubt, let's listen to a little bit longer. No, you're in the right. Holy crap, I'm sorry. Okay, let me go ahead and put all that money back. Doink. Here, another jelly bean. For the jelly bean gods, what are you? Oh, I think that's bubblegum. I'm getting a distinct, like, double bubble flavor coming off of that. Like gum that was really cheap to be able to get a hold of. And so you got a bunch of it in bulk. Yeah. Yay, we went to hell. And we came back successfully. We didn't die. Hallelujah. We also have 3 gravitational potions. I kind of want to use those. Just because I'm bored. I want to visit the sky. I want to see what kind of silly things are in the sky. Oh, Pink says, maybe why you were so soft-spoken is that you worry that your family will hear you talking loud and they'll think you're talking to yourself. Okay, so let me tell you this. If, for any kind of situation, whether you are living with roommates, whether you are living with family, whether you are living with a next-door neighbor that has really good hearing that can hear you through his walls and, you know, and your walls, you know, you could easily just talk to him. Like, I know it's awkward, and I know, like, it's kind of weird to just be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this thing, and just, it's a fun activity kind of dealy. Yeah, don't worry, this is what it is, this is how it's done, and I know in some capacity that can be a little bit awkward to try and bring up the conversation, but I guarantee you, if you actually let people know in your household, like, what you're doing and, you know, why you're doing it, just like for fun, for the lulz, I think that's going to help out a little bit. Because then you're going to feel a little less self-conscious about it, and then you could just go hog wild. Do whatever the heck you want to do. For example, beans! I give no shit about whether or not anyone heard that. You did? Well, hey, I mean, by all means, like, just bring it up. Maybe, like, every once in a while, give them a little update about what you did today. Like, try and make it something interactive. Something, like, they can contribute directly to. Or, you know, maybe not directly. I don't know. Just in general. Let them know. Keep them up to date. Plastic said, I got spooked. Thanks, Bit. You're welcome. So I don't really have a whole lot of places for chests. Shoot. All right. Okay. So, I managed to get myself an absolute shitload of hellstone. I also got this this forge, you know, this hell forge. This should allow me to actually make the best armor I can possibly have as a melee player at this point in the game. It involves making hellstone bar. I forget how many that I need to make in order to make this armor, so forgive me. There's the helmet. There's this boy. And there's that. Oh, and 5 were left over. Yeah, that's like the best freaking armor you can get. Like, within the latter half of just regular normal mode. I got it. We done. I have 27 defense now. Pink says I did have to fix my microphone's volume. Could be that too. Nah. I mean, in some capacity, that can factor into it. I would say, if you can get a hold of something, soft-spoken situations. Yeah, for example, I'm soft-spoken right here, so you know. But on the other side of things, I have a really good mic. So it will pick up my voice. I don't know what you're currently using, but having a really good mic helps out a heck of a lot. when it comes to being able to pick up the smaller, more subtle conversational bits that you have, or whenever you make a small noise, such as eh, what, ah, what, hmm. It helps, but um, directly a part of that as well. If you have like such a sensitive mic, you're going to have better insulated area so that you don't have to worry about too much echoing. You can kind of hear echoing in here, but there's not much I can do about that. Then if you want to boost it up even more, like if you want to really do yourself some good, try and get some kind of a microphone compression software. I'm trying to think of like a good example of one. I know that a whole lot of streaming platforms and things like that, they tend to have them built directly in. Like I know Streamlabs OBS, I think it does have a compressor on it. And what that does is it makes it so that, the highs are capped and then the lows are brought up. I have learned these things from years and years of doing this computer work, and I unfortunately had to go through it the hard way. Because, oh, holy crap. Like, I was working with some real crap hardware, like, very early on. And I gotta say, like, honestly, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna do, like, a boomer thing here. You guys have it so easy now. Like, all this stuff is just software. And it's stuff that you can very easily get absolutely for free from the good old internet. And meanwhile, in my case, there were a lot of, like, manual devices that I needed to buy just to be able to pull that off. Oh, Jesus, there's the puppet. Good lord. But anywho's, yes, all of the bits and bobs and pieces, like, they're out there, and all it takes is just a little bit of personal research on your end, and it's also going to take just, like, just, as time moves on, you're going to get a lot better at everything. You're going to learn the ins and outs of how your equipment works and how to make it sound good. So that's my best advice when it comes to trying to set yourself up streaming-wise. I mean, I've been doing it for about 4 years, so I guess that is kind of like that's the bar that you should probably Oh, Pink says my mic is still useful at least. My mic might be called Audio Technica, really. It's supposed to help me from all of the background noise. Oh, so does it have like I think what that term is, I think it's like a cutoff filter or something. I'm trying to recall. I don't know. This mic has the exact same thing. Let me see. Oh yeah, this thing has... It actually has a mic booster, question mark? No, it's not a booster. It's actually a quieter thing, so I can flick it and then suddenly make myself stupidly quiet, and you can't freaking hear me. Back up. And then we have another switch on here. Oh yeah, it's like low-level noise. It cuts it off entirely. However, that's not going to help me out in this case, since I already have an external program taking care of that for me. And I want to have, like, the rawest format of this mic going into the computer, so no point in having me have that on. Audio Technica is a pretty good brand, so I would say you have a decent mic, I'm guessing. It just comes down to learning how to utilize what it's capable of. Blastic says, isn't there a theory that the Snuppet is haunted? I don't know. You tell me. I gotta say, Hat in Time would have been a very different game if the entirety of the game was, like... If the entirety of the Subcon Forest area was just the prince walking up to you with a puppet. Which one are you or for vanity, question mark? Do I even have a vanity? I don't have a vanity chest. Well, shoot, let's fix that. Let's fix that up right the heck now. Ta-da. There. My trusty Fez now has a home. And then I have a banner's chest somewhere, I believe. Don't I? Yeah, it's up there. Kibby said, oh, it's not that the Snatcher puppet is haunted. It's the Moon Jumper since he was written out of the play. Oh. No, these are blocks. Oh, here's the banners. Shit. Oh, yeah. All right. So we have done some considerably good things this round. So let's... You know what? Here. Gravitation potion. How much of the sky have we explored? Not a lot, honestly. Like, the world's kind of our oyster. We have found 2 islands, and even them, one of them was a lake. So, I think we could potentially find something really cool in the sky by using the gravitation potion. Let's do it. Prepare for your brain to just be broken for a little while, because yeah, don't mind me. I'm just flying to space. Okay, come on now. I want to find a good island. There's a particular sword that I would really like to have. Plastic says my brain was already broken. Oh, I want to say this will break it more. But I'm not sure at what extent your brain is broken. La 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 la. I just noticed the spawn area, it spawned up pretty... Oh, what? What? Sand! The other one was winter, what? God damn it. And there's also a cactus fountain, too. Come on. Okay, no point in fighting these guys, because they're just going to infinitely respawn. Ooh. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Get out of here. Okay. Nuts to that. Back to the sky. I'm gonna go grab another jelly bean. This one looks weird. It looks like a white one, except it had a bunch of red lipstick smeared all over it. Blask says, Bit, you're talking to the guy who has one brain cell that barely functions. I mean, it functions well enough that you can send that message. I'd say that's a good brain cell. What? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, found another one. Ow. Owie. Pink says, yeah, believe me, I used to be a banshee when I was little. I'm kind of the exact polar opposite, honestly. Like, when I was little, like, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty reserved nowadays. Like, I try not to be super loud or ridiculous in public just because I don't want to bring attention to myself. And it's just like, I'm self-conscious. I don't want it. But, I mean, I've gotten a little bit more comfortable in my own skin, if that's a good way to put it. Oh, shit, what? Hold the phone. I saw the bottom of an island there. Oh, it's another lake. Okay, fine. But ironically enough, nowadays, I tend to be a little bit more comfortable with myself and being able to express myself and what I enjoy, what makes me happy. Whereas a long time ago, I was never really... First of all, it doesn't help to grow up in an environment where it's not like it's... No one was telling you that you couldn't express yourself, but it was a case of if you live around enough people that are significantly different than you just feel like you shouldn't, or that somehow, you know, it's taboo for you to try and talk about anything that you personally like because you just feel like other people are going to look at you being like, weirdo. You know, it's just like, why are you so into cartoons? It just, come on. But yeah, when you stop actually caring about what other people think, that helps a hell of a lot. Because you just basically do whatever. Classic says, although I was also told I ran into a coffee table as a child and then ran off like nothing happened. I'm trying to recall if I ever did something similar to that. I don't think so. Kippy says, oh, dude, no kidding. It's so liberating. It's just being like, oh, step off me. I'm my worst enemy. I'm my own worst critic. No lie. I've talked about this a couple of times, just like my experience in grade school. First of all, during my entire upbringing, I was moving quite often. Not ridiculously, I wasn't moving like 7 times over the course of my childhood. No, it was more like 2 or 3. But that's a significant amount of time, especially in like the really young years where you're trying to meet like your childhood friends and the people that you're going to know for probably the rest of your life. I didn't really have much of that. The people that I did end up becoming friends with were people that they're good friends. Don't don't misquote me on that one. But at the same time, like it's not people that I would honestly say, oh yeah, they're childhood friends. I've known them forever. We're attached to the hip. No, we just kind of know each other because we happen to be in the same place at the same time. And I think they would agree with me on that one. Oh dear, I'm about to run out of potion! Shit! Okay, let me check my radar. Oh yeah. Yeah, it would definitely be worth it to go and swap. Blasic says, Baby Me didn't care if I got hurt all Baby Me wanted to do was draw on walls and face plant into a dog crate. Anyway, trying to think some more stuff. Okay, what doesn't help is that finally we ended up settling down in one place in particular. And I kind of consider that my childhood home. Everywhere else was just kind of temporary. My parents were just trying to figure things out. They were trying to figure out, it's like, all right, where do we want to set roots? And so many times they were just like, nah, don't like it here. Don't like it here. No, not a lot of opportunity. No, these job places aren't doing really well. Eventually, they settled on a place. The only issue is that the, even back in the day, even when I was younger, I really liked computers and technology. I liked cameras. I liked, just so many different little elements that so many other people, and a bunch of my peers, just didn't care about. So I was pretty isolated in that front. And then as time moved on, people got into their niches. And I will say, at the latter end of the entirety of my time in grade school, the only population that was really there were 3 things. The jocks, the preps, and the hicks. And I'm sorry, hick is kind of a derogatory term. I apologize. But, I mean, basically, it paints a pretty good picture. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's kind of derogatory. At the very least, it just sounds like something that's, insulting as all hell. But, basically people that were like, oh, God, I don't know. They're not bad people. It's just kind of like, they're down home country, and that's about all they are, and that's all that they are characteristically. Like, they live, breathe, and sweat farm, and that's it. Right. Kippy says, them good old country boys. Right. So again, you got the country boys, you got yourself jocks, and you got yourself the preppy girls. That's it. Like, that is all that was there. You didn't have any kind of middleman. Like, and the only there were only a very select amount of nerds that were at that school, and I would say that was a handful of about maybe 6 or 7 people. And those are the people that I am still partially friends with to this day. Because, you know, we went through some bullshit, so we were like, oh yeah, well, I guess you're friendly. You're one of the key people I can trust nowadays. However, as time moved on, everybody was kind of moving away from that area, mostly because just there was no opportunity and there was nothing interesting going on. And also, like, none of us really fit into the whole thing. Me and my family were the idiots that decided, no, we'll continue to hang out. And I'm not saying that, like, the place was inherently bad or anything. I'm saying it wasn't for me. And again, it's just one of those uncomfort things. You know, it's like you don't feel like you fit in any capacity, and therefore you don't really want to chime in because you're just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I lived by those rules during my entire life, and I kind of regret them now to this day. Honestly, there was absolutely nothing that was stopping me from just geeking out and having conversations with people, and I really should have. Like, I should have done some extracurricular stuff. Like, I should have gone into band. Heck, maybe if I could, you know, maybe I should have gone for some teaching things. Like, maybe I should have gone to choir or something. Because, you know, I feel like if I trained my vocal cords, I'd be a heck of a lot better when it comes to voice stuff nowadays. You know, like, like, there were plenty of things I probably should have did, but unfortunately I didn't. Because I let a lot of fears get in my way. So for the love of God, anybody who's watching this, don't let fears get in your way. Just do whatever you want. Enjoy yourself. Don't let somebody else, like, somebody else's interests define what you are going to make yourself. Plastic says, you guys went to school? That is also perfectly valid. If you don't want to go to school, that is your own prerogative. I would recommend it. Oh no, shit! Damn it! I will not stand for that. Anti-gravity, go! Kibby says, I got kicked out of the GSA, is that grade school academy or whatever? The president, thought that the, yeah, that's some toxicity that you don't need in your life. I'm sorry. Oh, that's what that means. Okay, I apologize. Sorry, ignorant, have no clue. Woo! I got the thing! Oh, and oh, son of a bitch. Oh, this is the weapon that I've been looking for, and whew. This is a very basic and easy weapon, especially if you can manage to get into the sky easily. Oh, I got the thing. All right, so do I have the goblin guy here? I forget if I do. I think I do. If I do, then I can fix this right the hell up. Oh, fuck. No. No, he's not here. Shit. I forget. I fought the goblin army, haven't I? I don't recall if I did. You have no education, but you're planning on working towards a GED when you move out. Hey, congrats. Get yourself that education. Oh, balls. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, so I've got an annoying Star Fury. That kind of sucks. I would have preferred to have something that was maybe a little bit... A regular one? You know, I don't need any modifiers. God damn it. Alright. So you might be wondering, what the heck's a Star Fury? A few of you. Well, it's basically a sword. It's fairly decent, fairly powerful, but the distinguishing thing that it does is this. It calls stars down from the heavens. And I like it because this is kind of a multi-tool of sorts because, again, stars fall from the heavens, so you can kind of use it as a ranged weapon if you're good at aiming. Also, it leaves a little bit of light. Oh, regular star. It leaves a little bit of light, so if you're underground, you can actually summon these stars, and it can help light the way in certain places where you can't see very well. It especially helps you find hidden treasures and things. And if it were fairly strong, it would be a really good weapon to be using on a lot of shit around here. But sadly, it's the annoying Star Fury. Minus 18 damage, minus 15 speed. So I need to fix that modifier somehow. Give me a quick moment. I'm going to check the wiki for something. I want to check the spawning specifics here. There's a specific NPC that I would like to show up in my town, and I want to know what the specifics are that require him to show up. Okay. I'm trying to remember. Have I defeated the Goblin army at any point on the stream? I feel like I did. It sounds so familiar. Maybe I didn't. If it didn't show up yet, I mean, it certainly should have. Okay, so all I know is that the Tinkerer is currently located somewhere underground, specifically within the cavern area. And I have no idea where that is, so I just kind of have to go down and keep looking. What kind of what? I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. I'm not paying attention to my own words. So here's some good news. Again, thanks to this sword, I can actually use this to help find some hidden caverns in places that I have not ventured to. So I can see those boys. Also, Blastic, I noticed that you were mentioning you want to work at an animal shelter. That is awesome. Good on you. There is this portion of me that kind of wants to work at some kind of an animal shelter, maybe. But one, I mean, I don't know. That's a heck of a lot of pressure. I mean, I feel confident with taking care of my own pets. You know, I don't feel like I'm negligent or anything. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, I'm taking care of like an entire other pet that isn't my own. Like that. There's something like unnerving about that. But on top of that, the other reason why I don't want to work at a shelter like that is because I am allergic to cats and dogs. I own cats, for God's sakes. That is a level of not giving a shit, let me tell you. That's another issue that I have, Kippy, yeah. That just... I really miss a lot of my old pets. I was thinking about that earlier. There's a lot of pets that have come and gone. Like, this whole 4th of July thing has kind of... It's reawakened my love for dogs, that's for sure, because I'm just like... I miss my old dogs. I haven't had a dog in so long. You know, like the last time I had a dog was when we had a family dog. Like that was the only time that I had a chance of having one, and that's it. That's it. And those were good times, but it's just kind of sad that that ship sailed. You know what I mean? I don't know if I have the energy to be able to take care of a dog nowadays. I'm just like, ugh. Like I would love to pet and take care and you know and treat them well, but at the same time, I'm just like, ugh. That's a lot of effort that you have to go to just to try and take care of that animal. Like, that's a lot of energy. A little bit more laid back nowadays. Kippy says, I plan on fostering a bunch of cats when finances are more secure. That way I can say goodbye without seeing... Oh. Oh, well, good on you. And Pink says they will be getting new cats soon. I think I remember you were talking about that. I say good luck on that endeavor. Okay, these caverns are not the best to try and find this NPC, because a lot of them are waterlogged. Come on, man, where are you? And by all means, if you see some sort of a random strange thing on the screen, flag me down. I'll probably find it first before you, but still. I'm not immune to accidentally entirely missing something. God, do you remember walking through these caverns, like, in the first Terraria episodes and having so much trouble trying to make my way up here? For God's sake, it was just, like, slogging through it. There's a heart, but... You'll get your flag to wave it then. If I suddenly see flags in the chat, I know. Oh God, I've missed something. Okay, nothing yet. Ooh, that's a big cavern. Kind of want to go explore that, honestly. So what other things did you guys do on 4th of July? That's something that I actually have not really asked you guys much. I know there are plenty of people that decided they weren't going to really do much of anything. For me, I tried to be as safe as possible when making plans myself. Holy, what the... So many heart crystals. You know, I'm just going to take them because these can be useful sometimes. Oh, Kippy laid around suffering from migraine. I'm sorry about that, man. You know, that actually brings up an interesting story. So I cannot 100% say, like, for sure if it was a migraine or not. But I believe I had my very first and only actual migraine. Funny enough, playing this game. And it was because it was, like, so much stuff was going on the screen, and it was just so busy, and I was so, like, tired. I think I had a lack of sleep going on at that moment, and I was also, like, way up on caffeine. Like, all the stars aligned, and they basically created the best-case scenario for a migraine. But up to that point, I had never had a migraine before, and I'm fairly certain it was, because every time I talk about, like, what the, you know, what the symptoms of what was going on was, and people keep saying, like, oh yeah, that sounds like a migraine. So, like, it started out with just, like, first of all, I actually managed to defeat the boss that I was trying to defeat after a very long time of very hard focused attention. Like, stupid focus on this one particular thing that I was doing in Terraria. And it included a lot of flashy lights and a whole lot of that stuff. Anyway, finally, it was done. Then I started to notice that my vision was a little bit blurred, and also, like, it was almost like there was a halo of darkness around my vision. And that was strange to me. It was almost like everything was zoomed in. And I was confused, because I'm like, what? I'm confused? What is going on? I'm like, okay, this isn't a part of the game. I've never seen this happen with the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. Slowly, it actually did, like, fade away, and I'm just like, ah. Rosa says, you got an ocular, I think. Oh, God, really? I don't even know what an ocular actually... Is that, like, the technical term for it. But anyway, so that disappeared. I'm like, all right, well, I guess that was nothing. Then I immediately got hit with, like, some massive head rushes, and, like, I got such a ridiculous headache. And that, like, a headache that was so bad that I actually just felt sick to my stomach. Plastic says, migraines are when your head feels like it's about to blow up and you have to lay down in pitch darkness and cry. But anyways, it's, yeah, like, those symptoms that they mixed together, and I looked up the symptoms, and I asked people, and they're just like, yeah, that sounds like a migraine. I'm like, I've never had a migraine. I mean, that was miserable, and I hated every second of it, but that was also really interesting. Yeah, Rosa says, sometimes it starts with your vision. Like, knock, knock, mofo. You know, at least it warned me. At least it was polite before it decided to ruin my goddamn life. But anyway, like I said, since then, I have not had any kind of a migraine. I'm thankful for that. I hope I never have one again. And if I do, pray for me, I don't know. Kippy says, my vision knocks out when I get a migraine, it blows. Ew. Plastic says, my eyeballs hurt whenever I get a migraine, and I just have to shut them. I mean, I've had stuff similar to that. I forget what... There's a technical name for that, for that thing. I don't remember what it was, though. Like, there's an actual technical term for when a headache is, like, centralized around the eye sockets. But Lord help me, I could not tell you what that technical term is. I know I was told it. And I am horrible because I did not remember. I was actually, here's something I was thinking about not too long ago. I'm extremely thankful that up to this point in my life, I have not been super ridiculously sick. I mean, I've been sick, don't get me wrong. But it's almost like I haven't been so ridiculously sick that it's, like, completely god-awfully miserable, if you know what I mean. I've been pretty fortunate with that. I do remember there were some days when I was a child where I was just sick to my damn stomach, and it was almost like teetering on deathbed level sick, where you're just like, oh god. If I'm gonna die, can you please just do it? Like, I don't want to both die and suffer. Just get it over with, please. Get it over with. Kippy says, I've been hospitalized a few times. It sucks. Luckily, I have not been hospitalized. I've been pretty fortunate with that. But I've had some very miserable times. Like, there was one time in particular, I had some kind of a horrible stomach issue. I don't know if it was, like, the stomach flu or what. But it was bad. I don't know. I just felt achy and tired. I had a headache. I didn't want to move. I was so lethargic. It's kind of one of those, like, God, embrace the void. In death, please come for me. Blast says, oh god, are we talking about miserable times? Okay, what I was talking about was, I'm very fortunate and very thankful that I have not run into too many issues in my life where I have been critically and ridiculously ill to an extent that I feel like I needed to go to the hospital. In fact, oh, what the fuck? Hi, friend! I literally came down here to look for you.
Thank you for freeing me, human. I was tied up and left here by other goblins. You could say that we did get along very well.
Sweet! Let me buy up some shit from you, just preemptively. Thank you, sir. You need to get up to the surface and move into my house. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I have my life savings sitting in here. Okay, so let's fix the annoying star. Anything is better, but I'm going to try and gun for, like, a legendary. Oh, wait, not the shop. Okay, alright. Okay, so reforge. This will allow me to change the modifier on any of my equipment and actually turn it into something good. Costs money, but maybe this will work. Lazy. Great! And also, it costs plenty of money in order to fix it, because, you know, I mean, this is a good item. Son of a... Oh, okay, I'm gonna stick with that. Holy shit. Superior Star Fury, thank you. Plus 9 damage, plus 3 critical strike chance, and plus 10 knockback. Okay. There are better things than that, but I'm just gonna stick with that, because that's pretty good. Ignu says, never played Terraria, only heard good things about it, though. Oh, it's pretty good. Again, Terraria, except in 2D, with more RPG elements. It's nice. Oh, yeah, Blastic, maybe don't talk about that. It's not legal everywhere, so, you know, let's just say. Kippy says, pneumonia was horrible, ruined my lungs for good. I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you're doing better. So, I have never had anything that serious or anything in that vein, but I do know that, again, I've been extremely sick in the past. There was one particular sickness that I was so goddamn ill, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to think. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to lie on the couch and just stay there. And the thing is, this was something that was not just going to go away. My parents ended up giving me, like, and this was when I was a young child. My parents ended up getting me to go to the doctor. They were, like, on the cusp of maybe thinking about taking me to the hospital because I was just so sick. And they were just like, okay, no, Bit, you gotta get up. Come on. We gotta go. Like, I know you're not feeling well, but you're not gonna feel any better if you just stay here. Please, please, we need to get up. We need to go. Eventually, at pretty much the last minute, after a little bit of help from them, I did get off of the couch, and once I finally got up and was able to walk around, I was feeling a little bit better. But I went to the doctor's office that day, and they confirmed that I had some real nasty stuff and fake unicorn horn. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Sure. Okay. How do I... Oh. Oh. Hold on.
I'm the Toadicorn! Mario!
Could I give some constructive criticism about the game so you can get a better feel for the game? Okay, I will definitely do that. Oblask says, there was one time I fell onto a grate and had a very, very bad wound on the wrist that had to get stitches. Oh, God, sorry to hear that. Okay, let me try and be as critical as possible when it comes to Terraria. It is an extremely fun game. It is extremely versatile. You have a lot of different ways you can play the game. You can do melee attacks, you can do attacks with magic, you can do attacks with more ranged weapons. And there's like a very wide variety of different monsters to go after, many different difficulty settings. It's basically Minecraft, except it's in 2D, and you have a ton of extra functionality, like talking and interacting with the NPCs and selling them stuff, buying stuff from them. There are a bunch of bosses that can be difficult, but if you get the proper tools and if you get the proper equipment, it should be fairly easy. And there are so much replayability involved with the game. You could go back into this game and play it entirely differently with an entire different build and layout of the game, and basically get an entirely different experience. And what's especially nice is that everything is like there is a limited amount of world that is generated, so it's not infinitely generated like Minecraft, but it is procedurally generated in that everything is randomized when you start up a brand new world. and it's up to you to just run around the world and try and find items and things like that. That's extremely fun. What's also fun is that the world kind of shifts and changes with the difficulty and has things, as things change, new ores, new elements, new biomes, they keep being added to the world, new different challenges happen. There is a lot of flexibility for it. And this game has been out for about a good, like, freaking 10 years, or at least we're getting real freaking close. And the game, they have kept on adding more and more and more to it. They recently released the final DLC for the game, which was Journey's End DLC. All the DLC up to this point has been completely free updates, mind you. So if you buy Terraria now, at this point, by the way, this was, the last update for the entirety of the game. So you're not going to be seeing any more. So if you end up buying Terraria now, it's going to be the entirety of Terraria forever, essentially. Or at least, like, this version of Terraria. I don't know if they're planning on making a Terraria 2. Who knows? But one thing's for certain, if you end up spending money, which, by the way, this game costs, like, 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, you're going to be getting an experience that has been honed and crafted and changed up over the past, like, 9 years or so. And it's a pretty entertaining thing to just jump in and do. And there are plenty of, like, little addictive things that you can do to play it. I would recommend... This is one of those games that it's difficult to jump in completely blind with. So in the event you are confused and you don't know what to do in the game, I would recommend maybe looking into the Terraria wiki, things like that. Because there's certain crafting recipes and things that you can talk to the guide here, and he can give you some helpful tips on crafting recipes and things by handing him an item, and he'll tell you what you can craft with it. However, that can be cumbersome, so this is one of those games that you do kind of need... You need a wiki, kind of. Or at the very least, it makes things a lot easier. What an amazing name. You're asking, do I know how good way to kill the wall of flesh? Getting good. That's about it. That's the best tip that I have for you. But yeah, Pignu, that is pretty much my best technical... review of Terraria. Okay, if I wanted to give any kind of negatives with the game, I would say on other platforms, I feel it's a little bit stilted and awkward to play, but that's just me. You can buy Terraria on a lot of different platforms, but I've always felt that PC particularly, it was built for PC. Terraria on consoles, it's pretty much an afterthought. It works, but I wouldn't put myself through it personally. If you want to, you can. Blask says, I have this game, but I have never played it before. Man, it's fun. I would definitely recommend. I have no idea what version you have, but hey, give it a shot. You're probably not going to be disappointed. Even if you play any of the other console ports, it's probably going to be real good for you. Other negatives? Like I said, the whole wiki thing is kind of a negative too. You know, like that kind of sucks that it's a lot easier to play the game if you look up a wiki, because sometimes some of these crafting recipes get really complicated. Ooh, Mage Games 2K has followed me. Thank you very much for that. Ultimately, that's kind of my critical review of this. So, yeah, take that what you will. But I would definitely recommend it. I'm not going to give any kind of star rating because, geez, star ratings, do they even matter? I don't know. Okay, all right. Back to what I was talking about here. So I got this from the Goblin Tinkerer. I'm just going to set this here because I'm lazy. This is the Tinkerer's workshop or whatever the heck. Essentially, what it does is it allows me to take a bunch of these trinkets that I have in my inventory and combine them. So I don't believe I actually have what I need to make one particular thing. Maybe I do. Let me check my equipables. No, sadly, I don't. Shite. Okay, well, I guess I need to do a little bit more exploring underground to get more stuff. Pushing for affiliate and struggling with followers. How did I get affiliate? By streaming for 4 years. There's your answer. keep on it. Keep on keeping on. That's pretty much the only thing. You know? Try and come up with some fun things to do with your community. Try and be open. Trying to be engaging with your community. That's the best thing that I could possibly say about it. Kippy says persistence. I think a combination of persistence and just improving as a performer is a very good way to get yourself affiliate. Though, but that being said, I got affiliate, and I wasn't even really planning on getting it in the first place. Like, affiliate's just kind of a bonus for me. It's nice, but I wasn't really aiming directly for it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just keep doing what you're doing and try to enjoy what you're doing. Okay, so here's one thing that I can do. I can take these Hermes boots and combine them with these rocket boots. And I can get myself some guarding Spectre boots. I don't believe I have the necessary tools to be able to upgrade them further. Maybe I do. Let me check them real quick. No, I'm going to need to explore the jungle before I can do that. Pignew says a lot of games require wikis, Minecraft and Don't Starve together. Yep. I don't know. I can only deal with so many of those games. Like, after a while, I'm just like, man, I can't memorize all of these different games and all, like... Here's a good example. Friggin' League of Legends. I cannot jive with that. I just can't. Like, holy crap. There are so many different elements to League of Legends. It kind of pisses me off. Like, don't get me wrong. If you like playing League of Legends, like, good on you. Like, you keep on playing the game. Like, it's just not good for me. I don't like it. Like, a huge part of what League of Legends is, oh, well, you better memorize these particular, these particular item types for these particular scenarios, and you better know what's a good counter for so-and-so's other counters. It's like, you know, I could eventually get good with this, but after that, it's almost like a job. You know, like, at that point, you might as well just become an esports guy. Like, I play video games to have fun. All right, so I just equipped the balloon, which makes me jump really high. Pignew says, Don't Starve is a giant mess. If I'm not wrong, you can even get separate mods for... Oh, yeah, you can get a lot of mods for Don't Starve. You know, I think Don't Starve is... It's okay, but again, it's one of those games that you kind of need to put a little bit of time into it, and you need to learn a little bit about it. Blask says, Don't Starve can be fun, but it's, messy. Kind of agreed. I think it's pretty fun, but I can't personally get into it, because I only have so many games that I can memorize the entirety of the way that you progress in a game before you just get sick and tired of it. You know, like, I know Minecraft, I know Terraria, and I know a couple of other games. This is just frustrating. It's like, I don't know. I don't really want to be putting in that effort. All you know is Chester is a champ. I don't even know who that is. That's how little I know about that game. Anyway, yeah, check that out. I also have rocket boots now. Blastic used to play as Weber all the time. Considering they're called Weber, I assume he has some kind of ties to spiders. That's just my assumption. Okay. Well, oh. Kippy says... Oh. PSA. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have a good thing for this? I don't think I do. You know, I'm just going to turn this on and hopefully it works. PSA, if you see League of No, this doesn't work. How about this? Or this? Sure, okay, it sounds sort of like a TV. PSA, if you see League of Legends anywhere online, do not download it. It will install a virus called League of Legends to your PC. And if you run it, it will launch League of Legends. Frickin' perfect. Chester is a walking chest and Don't Starve. It acts like a dog and is super... Oh my god. Something about that sounds familiar. Hey, look at all the worms. What? The rain's kicking them up. Gimme. A dead kid spider, says Blastic Horror. Okay, that makes sense. Again, pun names. Hee hee. Pignew says, Stream Deck.
You know it.
It's so convenient. I really like having these buttons on the side. Once again, I would like to thank the community for this, because thanks to my subscribers and donating whatever money that you did, I was able to buy this thing, and it makes things a lot more convenient. So I can press buttons and do silly things like this. Boogity boogity. Blask says, I think Weber was killed by a spider, and then, I don't know, the two merged because Weber says we are all the time. Yeah, weird. It's like some sort of an infection spider. It's like a combine. Or no, not combine. No, it's like the zombies in TF2. No, not TF2. Friggin' Half-Life. Jesus, I'm getting all of my Valve just mixed up. Pignew says, got it too. Don't stream though. Just use it for macros when coding. Man, this thing is so flexible and so nice. It does like everything under the sun. I could. The only thing that I'm a little bit sad about with it is that it's the smaller variant that only has 15 buttons. I'd like the ridiculously, stupidly large one that has like 32. I don't know why I would need that many buttons, but I just feel like it would be hilarious. You know, just like more buttons, more boop. More, you know, because as it stands, I only have so many things that can have a, you know, like at the most, I can have about, again, 15 things on the fly. And I have a whole bunch of folders for a bunch of different filters. And I have a bunch of filters. I have a bunch of folders that have sounds in them too, in case I need to press sounds.
Stop!
So I would like to have more space to be able to spread them out more. Oh, I also have the censor button so I can... Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, Pignew says, in theory, you have an infinite amount of buttons. Yeah. But again, they're not right there. Like, you know, at my disposal, like right at the moment, at that time. Because sometimes, I mean, comedy... and stuff like that, it's all about timing. And if it takes me 12 minutes to just be like, oh God, oh, what's the best filter for this? I don't know, perhaps, Ruski. You know, like the joke failed. Yeah, Pignew says, just like when I said the Discord code was... Exactly. I had that, like, at my fingertips, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm going to make this a joke. I think that joke actually succeeded, because it was right there on my dash. So I have very few filters that I actively have sitting here just on the, in case I need them.
I have this just because it sounds an adorable... It sounds like an adorable robot. I enjoy it. I don't know.
I also have this.
I have this.
And I have this, of course, because I feel like the fanboys and fangirls would kill me if I didn't.
La-di-da. Oh, jeez. No, like I said, Mage, it's all about trying to have fun. Don't worry too much about any kind of success. Just enjoy yourself. Okay, Smokey. I think now would be a good time for me to end the stream, actually. Weppy says, seems like I came in at a good time. No, because I'm going to end the stream soon. Shoot, I was literally going to be like, oh, hey, look, it's the stream end button. Oh, hey, look, it's a bunch of credits. Thank you, everybody who supported the stream. So yeah, I will be ending the stream here. Thank you very much for the follows, and thanks to everybody who have supported me up to this point. I appreciate it a hell of a lot. I say it a bunch, but it's because I appreciate you a bunch. At some point, I'll be uploading this to the YouTube channel, but I'm waiting to have a good backlog so I can start releasing them, and I'll have them, like, daily. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. next stream is going to be on Wednesday, and I should probably dive back into playing a little bit of Halo. Don't know what I'm going to be doing on Saturday. I noticed that apparently there is a fishing tournament that's happening on Animal Crossing. Though, the problem is, I don't know if the fishing tournaments go on past 6 o'clock. That's the problem. So I think it would be a better idea for me to just do that right away and sell whatever fish I get. Yes, because I don't want to end up losing an opportunity to sell a bunch of things in bulk for a higher price. I have gotten all of my stonks for the week, I should mention. I don't think I'm going to do that Saturday. Not sure what I'm going to do Saturday. But maybe if I'm feeling like it, I might do some Animal Crossing on next Sunday. I don't know. Line it all back up. Do some more, Crossing Sundays one more time. Okay. Enough of me blabbing on here. I'm going to take off. Oh. Funny stuff says, I just got back and the stream is over. Rip. It's cool. There will be plenty more streams. Like the one that I said, it's going to be happening on Wednesday. Kippy. Oh, yeah. Heck. Oh, heck yeah. Crossing. Okay. I'm going to head off. I've got a sandwich calling my name. Again, thank you very much for coming out. See you next time.